Now, a new political book is levying new allegations at Republican presidential candidate and former President Donald Trump, authored by Bob Woodward, who uncovered the Watergate scandal in the early 1970s. War takes a behind-the-scenes look at the presidencies of Joe Biden and Donald Trump through a combination of confidential documents, notes, transcripts, and eyewitness testimonies. But it is the revelations about Donald Trump which have grabbed headlines. To tell us more, let's bring in our White House correspondent, Fraser Jackson. Now, Fraser, Bob Woodward has written over a dozen bestsellers, including All the President's Men, which documented the 1972 Watergate scandal, which ultimately tanked Richard Nixon's presidency. What's this new book revealing about Donald Trump?
Yeah, well, Bob Woodward, something of a legendary figure here in the United States. He's written books about many presidents and has almost chronicled every president, including Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, the Bushes. So he is somewhat of a legendary figure here. And this latest book is mainly focused on Joe Biden's presidency, but it does deal with the end of Donald Trump's presidency as well. And it's revelations from that part of the book onwards that are really starting to grab that attention. One of them surrounds COVID-19 tests. There is a revelation from this, an allegation from Bob Woodward that he has from aides that Donald Trump sent COVID machines to Vladimir Putin during the height of COVID. He also has this verbatim transcript of a conversation between the two, which we can bring up on screen for you now. Putin says, "Please don't tell anybody you sent these to me." Trump says, "I don't care." Fine. Putin then responds, "No, I don't want you to tell anybody because people will get mad at you, not me. They don't care about me." So one revelation coming from there, and their close relationship is then also further detailed by more aides that have spoken to Bob Woodward. And those aides are telling Woodward that Donald Trump has had numerous phone calls with Vladimir Putin since he's left office in 2021. One aide, as recently as earlier this year, said that he was told to leave the office so that Trump could have a conversation with Vladimir Putin. We're told they've spoken as many as 7 times, although the contents of those conversations are not known. There has been a bit of pushback on this by the Trump camp. Jason Miller, a top aide of Donald Trump, said to Bob Woodward that he would push back on these stories. And Stephen Chung, who's the director of communications for the Trump campaign, went even further. In a statement on Tuesday, he said that all of the stories in this book were the work of a truly demented and deranged man who suffers from a debilitating case of Trump derangement syndrome. So some choice words there from Stephen Chung.
Yeah, very interesting revelations there. The book also has new reporting on Joe Biden as well, doesn't it? Tell us more about that.
Yeah, well, a lot of this is kind of backing up earlier reporting that Joe Biden is a fan of expletives, something that has been known to happen behind the scenes here at the White House. Well, there are new revelations coming out about him and his choice words as well. He, according to the book, spoke to one confidant who, in that conversation, he chastised Barack Obama for his handling of the Russian invasion of Ukraine in 2014. He said they, quote, "they effed up in 2014. He said Barack never took Putin seriously, and he should never have let Putin just walk in there, and saying that the US did, quote, nothing. He also says that he regretted choosing Merrick Garland as the Attorney General of the United States. Of course, Merrick Garland was the top prosecutor who appointed a special counsel to look into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and his tax and gun charges. But the other thing, really, that is, again, grabbing headlines is the relationship between Joe Biden and Netanyahu. It's been no secret that it's been fraught over in the last couple of months, but we are getting fresh words that Bob Woodward has revealed in this book. He writes that Netanyahu was called a, quote, son of a bitch by Joe Biden, and Joe Biden allegedly said he's a, quote, bad effing guy. So some very strong words there, definitely the strongest we've ever heard from Biden about Netanyahu, if indeed it is true. And the book continues that with Netanyahu continuing to say he was going to kill every last member of Hamas. Biden had told him that was impossible, threatening both privately and publicly to withhold offensive U.S. weapons shipments to the country. So some big revelations from this book, and you can get your hands on it when it comes out in a couple of days' time.
Yeah, I'm sure many will be purchasing that book. Fraser Jackson, our White House correspondent, thank you so much for giving us your insight there. That's it from our daily Zoom in on the US election. Well, up next.